Heyo, so this should be a relatively simple video here on comparing the Mitchell and Ness power play hockey jerseys compared to an old authentic. This is technically based on the uniform they had after 1997, and this is an authentic pulled from the 95 to 97 era. I will go over simple differences. However, the most notable and jarring ones first is the colors. Okay, so the copper itself, it's a bit off. However, the most jarring part is the blue, actually. This is a lot more like a royal blue compared to this, which is, it's a darker blue. Let me get some other colors to compare. So I have grabbed in Team Adidas Classics here. And if we look closely, the blue is a lot closer to this older Nordiques blue compared to the actual old Capitals blue. If somebody thinks this might be just an issue with Mitchell and Ness, take a look at this. Bam. Yeah, this is the blue that the Capitals have on specifically a reverse retro 2.0. Yeah, they were able to nail this pretty well. So, I mean, the color's obviously available. Although I will admit, this is a different fabric compared to this. I will admit that this fabric and this fabric are relatively similar in its construction. They're both serged at the hems, but mainly the weave of the fabric is quite similar. Okay, so I will go over some positives about the Power Play series. They have been including the metallic thread for their embroidery on both the main logo and the patchwork. So if you want it to look nice in that regard, they did improve that. This logo does look a little bit bubbly, but it is stacked well. You can also remove the hem tags like I did down here. It's very noticeable in this filming, but in real life, you really don't see it that much. If you look over here, metallic copper threading for same items here. It obviously does not have the Capitals word mark, as this is throwing back to when Ovechkin actually played on the team, rather than when this jersey first came out. Now looking at the backside, we have this one I believe was supposed to be reverse kiss cut, but this ended up being stacked twill, which that's an acceptable difference for even this. The color difference though, the color difference is still here. As you can see, this is a lot more of like a rustic brown versus a bronze almost. Next, we have, there's still nameplates which are supposed to match the fabric, but like, I guess they didn't screw up too bad. The sizing is obviously very different. This is a size 54 to 56. This is a medium, which compares more to like a 46. Now for the real meat and potatoes here. So the actual inside out of the jersey and the cut of it. This is an old authentic fight strap. Here's the inside of the big block stuff. The cut is completely different. So on these you have your reinforcement of material here for the elbows. You have this diamond cut pattern here. So this is a stress point typically on like your shirts and stuff and why you get holes here. So normally you'd have it come all at a crisscross point and 4 things meet together. By having it at 3 things meet together and this actual stress point is stretched out, this gives you a lot more longevity here. Next, up here, if I fold down this right here is 2 separate aspects of the top that's been sewn together. Now, if we also look over here, this is the back numbering. It's been heat pressed down. Now, if we look at the other side, the logo has just basically been made on another piece of twill, and then it's been stitched on. Same with the shoulder patches and the numbers. This is a little bubbly here because it's old heat pressing and adhesive, but they stitched it down, so it's good. Over here, though, this is where it gets jank. So, back numbers. They did 1 layer of the copper, 1 layer of the black, and then embroidered the white. So, that's how they made the white here. You can see that this, and this, like, It, for what it is, I'm not going to knock it down too much for that, but the cut, I don't like this cut. So in terms of cut, like, it's a box style, which is good. That is comparable to this. If you like the box cut, these will fit closer to that, but these are also made in Vietnam rather than Canada, so the quality control will probably be a lot less. Here's the armpit here. This is a lot more like a typical t-shirt. So if you're going to wear this a lot, this will eventually wear out. Next. I'll get to that. The upper shoulder is not two separate pieces, but simply one separate piece here. If you look at this right there. Different construction entirely. So this is a lot more different material that's been sewed together, and this is just more of this sweater material, which I personally don't mind it, but it's still eh. This though, so if you look on the outside, this is stitched down on twill with the logo here. So what they did was they laser cut the twill out, heat pressed it on, then they stitched that down. Then they took this material and put it in an embroidery machine and embroidered the logo on top of that. So you have all these craggly bits here. You're definitely going to want to wear an undershirt, especially with this type of thread. But also, this is going to fall apart a lot quicker versus literally a lot of other patches. And I mean literally, like, look at this. Like, look at this. So this is the inside out where the patches on the new Fanatics 3rd for the Capitals. This is just a premium one. So all the Indos, even for Adidas, they do it properly. Because this is a cheaper method. I still have no idea who thought of this. Now, before anybody possibly says, which I don't know who would be defending this one too much, what about the reps from the day? Well, the reps were made in Canada. You can still see them with the size tags like this. A lot of the CCMs and Kohos will have their logo down here on the sleeve, on one sleeve in particular, but look at the colors. They match. This is from the same era that Ovechkin played. But yeah, look, the colors don't match at all. And not to mention, even the reps had Dazzle, which I love this material. They would be missing a fight strap, but we can also look at customization here. It's really... This one is stacked with this Dazzle, whatever layer it was. So they're doing that right. And we look at the patches. They are straight up just embroidered on twill and then stitched on. So, if you want my recommendation on any of this, basically, this one scratched the itch for a while. I have an extra jersey I could let my sister or someone else wear with makeup on, because I know how makeup gets, because trust me. In my opinion, this was $250. This was like $150 on a decent price. NHL shop wants $230 for these. In my opinion, at that point, just go for an authentic if you can find it. If you can't find an authentic, go for an old rep of this style. Like, you'll find it. It'll definitely be under $200 too. So, in my opinion, this one's for the kids or like the people that wear makeup, I guess, because I cannot. Sometimes they can't just go out without it, and then gets messy and stuff. But yeah, because you won't be able to clean it out, and you don't want to do it to the nice ones. Outside that though, really, like, go for an authentic.